All right, well, it is 1 o'clock. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Public Works Committee meeting. I've got 5 projects that I'm gonna give updates on, 4 projects I'm gonna give updates on today. And then Tim is going to give an update on the Department of Commerce grant. So the first project is the South End Fire Station. We are moving right along there on schedule. We still need to get proposals for gutters and flooring installation. I've talked with our contractor, our general contractor for the project, and he's gonna give a cost to install the flooring, and the city will purchase the flooring, so we'll save on a markup there. It's about, I think it's like 2,900 square feet, so it's a pretty good sized building. So there's some markup that we can save by purchasing the flooring for that. And then the Plymavent system, which is the exhaust system that we installed at the fire department here in 2023. That proposal is going to council tomorrow night. I think it's around $32,000 or $39,000. It's a lot less expensive than I thought it was gonna be, because when we did the project next door here, we did a retrofit and the racks were already installed, and you know, the South Fire Station has nothing in it, so for racks and everything, so that price is pretty good. And it has to be the same system because the tailpipes have been retrofitted to work with the exhaust hookup to it. And I checked with the Plymavent company to see if they do have a reel system, and I asked if we could do the reel system and if it would be less expensive. And they said that we need to do the same system because the reel system has different tailpipe hookups. So just so that they can all be the same on all the trucks.
We noticed how the fire department, how well is the system working that we currently have?
I have not had any complaints or concerns about it. I know that we've got them on a maintenance program like we should have them on, but I haven't heard anything.
Do we
Maybe
know
they're
if they're even using them?
They are using them. Yeah, yep, they're definitely using them. So,
Thank you.
yeah, and they weren't interested in like having us look at a different system and changing this one out or anything. They were very clear on this is the system we need down there. Any other questions on that project?
Are we on, sorry.
You said on schedule?
Yeah.
So are we still looking at like beginning of next year?
Yeah, yep. The construction will be done towards the end of this year. And then I have a note here too that I forgot to mention. We are meeting with the fire department this week to talk about furnishing and things like that. Furnishings, you're gonna ask about budget, I'm guessing? Yes, we are on budget. It's being paid for out of the capital facility plan, which is fine because we bought the building, we own the building, it's one of our buildings and we're maintaining it. That said, we can't purchase like the furnishings and the workout gear and all of those things. It's not appropriate, in my opinion, out of capital facilities. So at some point, when we get to that part of the project, we're gonna have to talk about what budget that's gonna come out of.
What about the exhaust system? That's fresh.
That's fresh, and I'm asking council to give us direction tonight on which budget to take it out of, and I have an either or option. Tomorrow night, yes.
So are we on budget?
Yes,
Even with I don't remember the exhaust system even being talked about.
yeah, we're on budget with all of it.
So we're not just hiding things in capital facilities.
No, in fact, tomorrow I'm gonna be with Sarah for the study session, and I have everything that we've spent to date. I think I've got 3 invoices so far. We're in a good spot there. Health clinic. I went by this morning, the ceiling grids are in. The tiles aren't, but the grids are in, and the painting is done and the door jambs are all in, so it's starting to look really finished. The flooring is scheduled for the 3rd of November to be installed. Casework is on schedule, all of those things. So it's really starting to come together and look like a clinic, and also on schedule to be able to turn over to the clinic to get their furnishings in towards the end of this year. And budget looks good.
Yeah, really congratulations on that. You know, it's been 2 weeks since I've been there and already a lot of progress. I mean, it's that each time I visited, I've been amazed at how much has moved along.
Yeah, if you want to go in this week, it looks really good right now. The Overlake Bridge repairs, we are council approved, thank you, at the last council meeting for WASDOT to do the repairs on a cap and a pile, and purchasing Jenny is working on the contract for that right now. And I've been in touch with Josh at WASDOT, who is the lead of the team that will be doing the repairs, and as soon as the contract is done, we'll be able to get on the schedule, so that was exciting that it's a short window to get on the schedule and a short time frame to do the repairs once they start.
So does that still look like this year?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And my last update is on the 2025 Southern Erosion Berm work. We've installed 6,120 tons of cobble. And the cobble cost so far is $286,834. We have a budget of $864,727, which is the grant from Department of Commerce. Tim's gonna give an update. Yeah, thank you. He'll give an update on that here shortly. And this week, Marshall sent an email to the engineers this morning. We want to top off the berm with sand, and we're just waiting for the okay from them. And we plan to top off the current berm with sand this week. And then contractors, Northwest Rock, are taking a week off. And then after that, we'll start Mariner and Peninsula Quartz. And those are only, I think, 150 to 200 feet. Does that sound right to you? In length of berm, they're much smaller. So budget wise, I think we'll come under budget and have some financials left for maintenance and potentially even if the engineers think buffing it up more. I went down yesterday after the big windstorm that we had and it held up. So there were definitely some,
Mariner or at,
the berm.
okay.
Yep, city crews will be hauling the sand.
Yeah, I noticed at the jetty, although we had the jetty, plunge,
Yeah,
the front line, the seawall, with the water's not getting up to it, so I'm glad to hear it's not doing it to the berm too.
yep, yeah, no, it was good shape. There's a section where, like, where you walk on the berm here, and it's just a, regular slope down everywhere. But there was one section where the cobble was pushed up and made like a steep point. And it was right there at Neptune Way where you walk out to it. And it was just, I don't know, it's probably like 20 feet or something where it did that. And that'll settle back down, but probably where the biggest wave action was. And I also we went to the Damon Point area, and there were a lot of people with toddlers walking around the berm and going down towards the water, clearly very unsafe. So just anybody who's here, if you can help get the word out about how unsafe it is to be down there. And I did call the non-emergency police number and ask for somebody to go down and just let the families know that it is not open to the public and not safe.
Those signs are very confusing.
Aren't they? Yeah. It was probably because some of the cones blew away, so there was a little opening which made it accessible and okay, which not really.
Concrete barriers didn't blow away.
No, they sure didn't.
At least they didn't when I looked at them yesterday.
That's everything I have. Any questions or other things for me before Tim goes on to talk about the grant?
To talk about the sewer rate study.
Yeah, the sewer rate study is almost done. SCJ Alliance is finalizing with the finance department, making sure that they have all of their ducks in a row. They are plugging in at this point, because we have a really good draft. They're plugging in the projects to make sure that what they're putting out, like what the report is for. You're gonna need this much money over this amount of years, and that's the part they're on now, is the very end piece.
Since this was supposed to be a May delivery to council, may we at least see a draft?
Sure.
It'd be great to have in our hands.
Yep.
How long the draft is, but.
It's not a long one. Yeah, no, it's not super long. Oh, that's a good idea. What's that?
The draft of the project.
The draft, no.
The
of
sewer rate
the
study.
sewer rate study. It's one that, like, I felt Herrera's in that stormwater study, I thought it was easy to read. That final draft, that final is not out either. And they have to make some fixes after what they presented at the meeting for the stormwater plan. It wasn't 100% accurate. But, there's like the SCJ one for sewer. It's really easy to read as a layman. I don't know what a lot of the terms and those things are, but I was able to sit down with this and understand it without saying, Ricky, can you help me? I don't know what this says. So I really appreciate our vendors doing that. So yes, draft. And I think tomorrow's study session is a perfect place to.
It'd be helpful. Yes.
Mhm.
Let's,
Hey, Becky.
oh, there it was.
Hey, Becky, can you hear me?
And
Hey, I have a question about just how is the decision being made about what projects are coming to the council to be funded from when we talked about the facilities study? So like the generator, I think from the Lions Club is on our agenda for Tuesday night, the exhaust system for the fire station. So what process is being used to just, because there's so many things on the facility study that need to updated and improved. How do we go about deciding which ones come to us?
Yep, so there are so many that need to get done, and we are following our purchasing policy for the mayor's approval. He can approve up to this amount, and then it has to go to council. There are some things that the mayor can approve financially, but we want council and citizens to be aware of, like the Lions Club generator. That falls within the threshold that the mayor can approve, but it's really important that everybody understands and knows that it's happening, and the best place to do that is at a council session. And for me, we like to take it as an approval, even though it really could be a discussion item technically because of the purchasing policy, but we stick to the purchasing policy.
Yeah, I think the other part of Lisa's question is, the facility study that we did critical,
Yeah.
urgent, and so forth. So how do those play in?
That's what we're doing is we, with a new contractor who is on board, which we'll talk more about tomorrow. I have sorted, like we had walked, in fact, it was with you guys, the critical and urgent, the high priority projects, and the wastewater treatment plant buildings. Did you guys go to those? I mean, those are the worst buildings in my opinion that we have. And so that's what he's being tasked with first. And the generator doors at the fire department, those had rusted out so much on that generator building that they're almost weren't, like the louvers were all rusted out. So that he's already taken care of. We had ordered the doors and they had been here, but we didn't have anybody to install them, knew he was coming. So that's something that he was done. But yeah, we're really prioritizing with the urgent critical off of that list.
As you prioritize, I want to remind you about the golf shed.
That golf,
And the electrical,
that whole building, the whole maintenance.
right? It doesn't need to be a Taj Mahal, but it needs
Yeah.
to be safe.
Yeah,
So
that's next.
still look at the great little electrical pole that comes out of the building that's still wrapped in plastic, and it's pretty scary.
Well, that's probably an electrician item,
Okay,
but
I'm not sure if they have lights in there yet, but I know for a while the offices were. I mean, it was dark.
I know we purchased some lights for them last year and put them in there.
Yeah, it was for where all the equipment is. It was very
Actually,
dark
the
in there.
offices for the actual outside employees. They have an office that they work out of.
In the maintenance building.
Yeah, on the south side of the maintenance building, and it was scary.
Yeah, we gave them the lights where they asked for them to be put in.
I think they were put in because I was in there looking for maps a while back.
And you could see,
Yeah,
Yeah,
didn't need a flashlight.
But I think that building was at the top, was
It is.
critical or urgent.
yep, it is. Yeah, and that's gonna be a long process to fix that one because there's so much, like the wastewater treatment plant. Those are both two big ones where it's a lot, but having Barry on board now, he's walked the wastewater treatment plant, so he's gonna be able to start giving estimates, and then we can break them down and say, okay, yes, go ahead and do this one. This is more expensive, it needs to go to council. This is out of your scope, it needs to go out to bid, but he's able to start doing all those estimates, so.
And help me, he's on staff. Great. Great. North Bay Park then, how are we doing there with lights and with cameras and such?
So the lights at North Bay Park are good. They're good to go. And the timer's been fixed. Buck Electric came out and fixed the timer. And then for the cameras, we are waiting for our IT department. They're getting a quote with our IT people that we subcontract with. They're getting an estimate because we don't have the infrastructure out there to make a camera system communicate with our camera system. And we can't just, the ones that were presented by the Parks Board were
Standalone.
standalone and they wouldn't communicate with our system, and our IT department said, you don't want those, they're just crap, so.
The challenge was what you said about communication, but the point was they were inexpensive, and as long as you hid the equipment like in the attic or something like that, you at least have captured the people that continue to brutalize that facility. But you're right, it doesn't communicate. You would have to go retrieve the communication.
Yeah, and
or the pictures.
it also, I don't think that they recorded long enough. I don't think they kept the information long enough. And police department says it has to keep the information for 30 days. So what we want to do is
I love
install them.
rules. I love rules like that.
I know,
You can't
install,
capture that person because, it only kept it 15 days.
you want to install them, there in Chinook Park, and the Chance Alamar bathrooms also. So it would all, that's all encompassing in one estimate that we're getting.
So that's gonna take internet to each of those buildings now.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Fiber's coming.
Sure. We'll be talking about this in 2 years.
Probably.
What can you do to hold council's hand, since we need hand holding in regards to the road study? We have to talk about it.
Yeah,
We continue to not.
right.
So can you push us? Maybe we have another early meeting
Yeah,
and somebody makes some
I'm gonna pass that off to the
decisions.
Public Works Director.
I've
We've
been,
got to.
I've been going over the latest report that we had in the Drive software from Kimley Horn. And working with Alex on getting a lot of stuff out for the TBD fund requests. Probably early next spring before before the summer starts and we get, we'll have a lot of projects ready to go before the summer starts is the goal.
But it starts with, we need administration because we need it to be a team sport here. We need to start deciding what percentage of road, what grade are we going to accept in this town?
Mhm.
And it's gonna start there. And once we decide that 90 is too much, we'll live with 85 or 8, whatever the number is, then you can have a plan.
Mhm.
Until we do that, we aren't even gonna be able to direct you. And council as a whole has never sat down and spoken about it, or, we're not even listening to anybody. I have no idea what the mayor wants, or the city administrator, thinks is reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, we had talked about doing a town hall on it, but actually, I think before it goes to the town hall, the study should go to council first and then do a town hall on it. And maybe, now that we're doing these, study sessions before council, maybe we can look at January. We're doing one, sorry, Rich.
Darn it.
Your choice. Maybe we could look at doing January because that might fit in with Ricky's schedule of having stuff prepared in the spring.
That's true.
We could do that last week of December. I'm available.
I'm not.
It's just, we've got,
I think that's something that we could get a proposal ready and bring to council or bring to a public works committee meeting
and you might be able to, with some of your peers, say, hey, guys, just so you know, the city of Seattle is at blank.
Hmm.
The city of Bellevue is at this number. The city of Olympia is here. Something to where we're not just pulling a number out of our head that looks
Mhm.
reasonable.
Oh, for their PCI that's on the
The-
report,
Yeah,
yeah.
the tough part would be finding out what other municipalities, I'm not sure if they'd be willing to just give us that information. Because every municipality more than likely uses a different rating system.
I wonder if
So-
the company we hired
I think they would.
could share information. But what my biggest goal is to not have this city get stuck with LIDs again that we're famous for. We
Yeah.
ignore. And then all of a sudden we go, oh, we have no choice. I need, $10 million. We don't have it, so we have to do something crazy. So even if we make a little teeny wins, it'll help prevent LIDs maybe in the future. That's got to start with us actually making a decision.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Rich. It's overdue.
That's all my abuse.
Thank you.
Grant, yeah.
Good news?
Yes, as Becky stated, the burn portion of the Commerce Grant is nearly complete. The sand should be done, I'm thinking by the end of next week, the latest. And from what Marshall said, it's to encourage growth on the backside of the berm. Which is, we needed vegetation up there too to help stabilize it. And then on Mariner Court and Peninsula Court, hopefully we can begin that November 10th. That's our target date currently. All necessary requirements have been met for those portions of the grant. They were a little bit behind because we had previously already done a grant for the burn portion of it. So they already had all that information and then they were satisfied with that. But they wanted us to satisfy all the requirements for Mariner Court and Peninsula Court. And those have been met. So we're ready to begin work hopefully November 10th. And I will begin submitting invoices to Commerce for reimbursement. That's it for that grant.
So for Mariner and Peninsula, I just went to see them after the storm. I'm really kind of shocked at how much of the asphalt has fallen
Fallen down.
into the sea. So are we doing a berm similar to the one that we,
The
Yeah.
design is a little bit different, but it's gonna be cobble, the
Mhm.
same cobble that's been used out on the big berm. So the design will be very similar.
I think there's a little more underground cobble that's going in is the biggest difference, but it's gonna look the same to
Yeah,
us.
and I think the biggest difference is gonna be what they tried before, they also used wood. I
Yeah,
mean, trees, they threw whole trees in there. That's not gonna be part of this scope. Those are, to the best of my knowledge, those would be taken out. And then the cobble's gonna be put on. So, be very similar to the berm that we already have in place on Marine View Drive.
Some of those trees just fell from the
I can imagine from the weekend.
not this weekend, previously for Mariner.
Okay.
They just fell in from the
They fell
property.
in on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, from the property that got eaten away while we sat and didn't ever answer or help back in the day, 2 or 3 years ago.
They're gonna remove that and the asphalt and then get the cobble in there. So,
Well, thank you guys for being able to get on it.
yeah, it's, it was actually, I mean, the whole process working with Commerce was I'm not gonna say easy, but it was very efficient. Is probably the best way to describe it. So far in my experience working with grants, the Department of Commerce has been beyond awesome, over the top. So
to hear?
enjoy working with them. So
How are things coming with the February deadline for the Parks Grant?
the February is not the deadline. February is the opening of it. The deadline is I think it's March 30th. I gotta revisit that. It's almost 2-month process to turn in the grant. February 11th is the date that they have as far as the opening for the applications.
Do we have a project yet?
We do not have a solid project yet. We have to revisit. I know there's some things at North Bay that could be upgraded, like the playground equipment, for sure.
Baseball field and everything.
Yeah, and I already have a grant out there for more improvements to the baseball field, and I should know by the end of this week if we got it.
Now, again, what's the total? Is this a potential 200 or 2 million with a 400,000 match?
I believe it was 1.2 million. And it was like 470,000 for the match. And it was a 30% match. We did finally get that confirmed.
Some of the.
That's for the whole entire grant.
Some of the things you're getting qualify as part of the match.
With this different grant? No, I haven't even got a scope yet for the RCO grant. This one's separate through Grace Harbor Community Foundation. It's a $30,000 grant.
Can we get grants to be part of our match for the RCO grant? I think
Yeah,
that's.
that's.
I believe we can.
Okay.
I've looked, searched through my notes, but I believe we can use other grants as part of that match.
And what is the RCL?
Recreation. Darn it.
Okay, that's.
It's a state parks, basically.
Okay,
Not state parks, but it's a state grant for parks, and there's probably 20 different grants out there within that RCO.
Recreation and Conservation Office.
Thank you very much.
That's what it
They have several different grants, and that's another thing that we need to nail down exactly which grant that we want to go for, because they're, like I said, they're all for different things. There's the YAC, which is youth athletic, or YAF, youth athletic fields. There's also a parks, just specifically for parks updates, which probably is going to make the most sense for what we're going to do. So there's some discussion that needs to be done regarding the project, and then we can hit it hard February when it rolls around to us.
I would say too, don't be too modest with your requests from the Grace Harbor Community Foundation. They've got it's over $100 million foundation, and they're not giving away anywhere near just the interest they get every year.
told us the max we could request is 35,000,
30.
30,000.
Maybe we need to name something after.
It was 5 to 30.
Factors that put,
Yeah.
tens of millions in there. Because again, the whole purpose with a foundation is you actually give away usually at least the interest
Yeah.
or close to it. They're not even coming close. So there's opportunity there if you maybe.
Well, and the nice thing is you can continue to apply for, they have quarterly grants, and they have like this last one is a community building grant is what it's called. And I can keep applying for those constantly.
How's Bishop Field sound?
I think they already have that.
That's the Bishop Athletic Complex.
Oh,
We gotta come up with a different acronym.
we'll see. Are there any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Ricky, you had something there.
Oh, well, thank you, Becky, for covering for me while I'm out, but,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so I didn't really have anything for you guys, but, as soon as my wife gets the full clearance from the doctor, I'll be back full time and, be taking a little bit off of Becky's plate, so,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yep, thank you, everybody. We'll see you same time next month.
Thank you.